Ciao Juventino of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. It is now official, Jeep will not be the main sponsor on the shirt of Juve from next season. That information has been shared yesterday in the meeting for the little shareholders. We will come back at the end of the video about what they said, because some shareholders were quite harsh in attacking President Ferrero about how he defended Juve in his first year of presidency. That's the first thing, but let's come back on Jeep. That will not be there, because after 12 years, it's a big news. It's really a big news because our shirts will look totally different. Not only with the look, not only with the design of the first, second and third shirt, but also now with the sponsor. They are already in talks with different brands that want to sponsor Juve. Important, of course, will be how much they will pay Juve to be there on the main shirt. But now I'm asking your help. If it's not Jeep anymore, after all the memories, etc., etc., who do you want on our shirt? And I know that a lot of you will tell me, Beppe, we want Fastweb, we want especially Sony. That was a fantastic matching sponsor on the shirt of Juve. I don't believe that Sony will be back, but anyway, you never know. So let me know a maximum of comments here, and while you're writing your answer, maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe, because now we are ready to start with the first news. That is not that much linked to Juve, you will tell me, but you will understand it is linked to Juve. Two stories that Gazzetta dello Sport is bringing to us. The first one is about Camarda that will be on the bench. Who is Camarda? The second one is about the derby of Thuram. We are speaking about Marcus Thuram. So let's start with the young Italian Camarda, that is a player of AC Milan, that is playing with the youth there. Look, tomorrow he can become the youngest ever player to make his official debut in Serie A. Tomorrow he will be 15 years, 8 months and 15 days. Who else did his debut super young? Well, we had Wisdom Ami, that is at the moment the record holder. He started in 2021 with Bologna when he was 15 years, 9 months and 1 day. Camarda can become even younger than him. Why am I speaking about Camarda? First of all, because I am Italian, and I can guarantee you he will be the striker of Italy in 2026. A few days ago, I was even saying to Spalletti, bring him to Euro 2024, even on the bench, bring him so that he's really ready at World Cup USA 2026. If you don't believe me, ragazzi, go on internet. I know he's not a Juve player, but go on internet, go and check. The guy is fantastic. He has everything. Born in 2008. My son is born in 2008. That doesn't make me younger, but the guy is really fantastic. But why is it linked to Juve? Because Di Marzio, you know it, is writing article. And what is the goal, the objective of a journalist? That when they are writing article, that people are reading them. And what is the best technique in Italy to make sure that people are clicking? Speaking about Juve. If you read his title yesterday, in the world of Francesco Camarda, the new talent of AC Milan, when he was 14, Juve wanted him. Mamma mia, when he was 14, that's like 10 years. No, it's like last year. Why? If you are clicking on the article, because I did, of course I did. I said, Mamma mia, Juve wanted him. What is written there that Juventus wanted him last year. For what reason? Because when you are 14, you can't sign a professional contract. The only thing that you can sign is actually something that is making sure that nobody else can buy you until you have the age to sign your first professional contract. And in that moment of hesitation, when he was in talks with his agents, Juventus, they asked information. It was not only Juve, there were a lot of clubs already because they knew it. And he said, you know what, at the end, I will stay at Milan because that's the club of my heart. My idol is Ibrahimovic, and I want one day to succeed and become one of the top strikers of Milan, which makes totally sense, ragazzi. If you love a team since you're a kid, of course that you want to do everything to be there. Then in the future, can he be a Juve player? Who knows? You never know in life. But at the moment, of course, let him do, or let him try at least to pursue his dream, and he will actually maybe make it tomorrow. Only at one condition. Only at one condition he can become the number 9 of Italy in 2026, if he here is behaving as a professional, because he has everything to succeed. The dribbles, the shot, the sense of goal, everything. But of course he needs to continue here mentally to be a pro, because otherwise you can finish like Balotelli, that a few days ago was still telling us, I am the best striker of Italy. And I believe him, because ragazzi, when Balotelli was young, not a lot of time I saw a young player like him with that much potential, but that was not following. And yesterday, after saying that he was the best striker in Italy, He went with a car accident. Luckily, nobody was injured, not even him, so good for everyone. But he even refused to do the alcohol test, so never drive when you drank. And also, if you have talents, but even if you don't have talents, just if you have dreams, go for it. But be someone serious. Have fun when you can have fun, and of course respecting the rules and in the limits, but also pay attention, because it can decide your future, and you can make it or you can't make it. So don't become a Balotelli. On the other side, don't become a Marcus Thuram. And why am I speaking about that? The Derby di Thuram, this is the article of Gazzetta dello Sport, because you see that picture of Marcus Thuram when he was a kid with Papa Lilian, both of them with a Juve shirt. Marcus Thuram, that when he was 4 years old, he went to Torino with Papa. They stayed there for 5 seasons. He was kind of a Juve fan, of course. Then, after going to Barcelona with Papa in 2006, after playing in France, etc., etc., well, he's now an Inter player. If you are a Juventino, don't change your team. Hopefully, Kefren Thuram, the other brother, one day will understand the right way. And from a kid being a Juve supporter, or at least supporting the team of the father, he can become a Juve player, but that's something for the Mercato. On the other side, there is another story with Suns, with Inter, with Juve. Why? Because we know that we have a fantastic talent that is playing with the under-19. We are speaking about Luis Haza, that is now playing with the under-23, with the next gen. Luis Haza has a contract until 2024, with the possibility for Juve to extend automatically for 1 more year. They are now in talks, in discussion, to extend even more until 2027. What is the problem? What is the link? That in his agency, because his agent is Pastorello Andrea, there is someone that is working as a young kid in the agency of Andrea Pastorella. Who is he? It is Tommaso Inzaghi. Who is Tommaso Inzaghi? It's the son of the coach of Inter, Simone Inzaghi. So hopefully they will not influence too much and make sure that Luis Haza is going to Inter. That would be a disaster. I don't believe it, because today Haza is, and he always said it, a supporter of Juve. If you're hearing again my neighbor doing worse, it is what it is, ragazzi. Speaking about another one that is not born a Juventino, or at least I don't think so, but that became a Juventino, we are speaking about Bernardeschi. Bernardeschi that was interviewed by Gazzetta dello Sport and said, my Juventus is back. They are there to compete for the Scudetto, and if they need me, I will always be there, because there is where I grew up as a man and as a level player. If they need me for whatever, I will be there. I also have a home in Torino. Bernardeschi, I love your passion. I love your commitment, your love, and also that you want to support Juve and give them a help. But I think it's okay. Anyway, we go to Inter Juve, or Juve Inter, that will be played on Sunday with Corriere dello Sport, that is speaking about l'infiltrato, the infiltrate. I have absolutely no idea why they are going with that title. What I'm sure is that Juventus beating Inter has the possibility to be alone first in the ranking of Serie A after 40 months. Yes, I'm speaking about 1,212 days. Crazy when we are saying it like that, because of course we are used Juventus to be first, and if they don't win the Scudetto, at least competing, being there at least 1 or 2 days first in Serie A. Well, it didn't happen since 40 months. And how can we do it? Well, we have to look, of course, at the J Medical. J Medical, we know it. Weah will not be there. We know it. Danilo will not be there. But the good news are coming from the other ones. Miretti, McKennie, Alexandro, Dienhuisen, etc., etc. They are all taking part of the training session with the teams. They will all be there. There is just one big question mark still, and it is Locatelli that is still feeling pain at his rib. He will try, of course, to be there and to do as much as test as possible to try to say to Allegri, I am ready to at least be on the bench, but that will be a decision that will probably be taken on Saturday morning. So what is Allegri since yesterday with a full team training on? It's on his certainties. And who are the certainties according to Gazzetta dello Sport? Adrien Rabiot, Gleison Bremer, Federico Chiesa. 3 players that Allegri knows they will be there on the field, and they will be able also to maybe give us the 3 points. Is Dusan Vlahovic a certainty? Because I didn't mention him with the other ones mentioned by Gazzetta dello Sport. Well, this is a big question. Is today, on the 24th of November 2023, Dusan Vlahovic a certainty in this Juventus? And I'm asking to you, because if I'm asking to Paolo Di Canio, ex-Juve player, that is now a pundit on Italian television, he played at West Ham, for example, in England, well, he say a big sentence. He's saying, non è intelligente calcisticamente. He's not an intelligent football player, not a person. The way of understanding football, Dusan Vlahovic is not intelligent. If he's not breaking out in Juventus, it's because of him. Now, of course, that's the big title. I want to really understand what Paolo Di Canio said, because the words are harsh. The question was, what about Dusan Vlahovic? Is it because of Juventus? Is it because of himself that he's not succeeding at the moment? Where he said a few months ago, I would have told you 50-50. 50 Juve, 50 himself. At today, I tell you 75% are his own responsibilities, the one of Vlahovic. If you are strong, and even if you are frustrated, and you have not a lot, so a few possibilities to do goal, you have to do your best. You have to try. You have to do everything you have also to manage that ball. Even if there are not a lot, even the few balls that you have and that comes to you, you have to do your best to control them and to make sure that they become fantastic, these balls. At Firenze, when he was playing with Fiorentina, he was on fire. He was believing in everything that he was doing. And at Juve, it's a total different word. Everything is different at Juventus. Even the pressure, because the pressure is much higher. But I saw and I discovered a kind of fragility in Dusan Vlahovic, in his choices, in his non-being intelligent in a football way when the moments are decisive, when he is in difficulty. But it's there when you are in difficulty, it's when it's tough that you see the big talent of a player. Do you agree with the big words of Paolo Di Canio or not? Let me know in the comments. I know that today you have to write a lot. Let's beat the algorithm. Tutto Sport is going with the last part of the video, and again, sorry for that external noise. Tutto Sport is saying, Juve, devi difenderti di più. Juve, you have to defend yourself more. You have to defend us, the tifosi, more. From who is that coming from? From the little shareholders that yesterday had the opportunity to speak with the management of Juve, with President Ferrero. Well, they were asking him, we made that plea deal. You told us that you would defend us until the end, and at the end we didn't, because we found that plea deal. We accepted -10 instead of -15. We were not, or we didn't qualify to Champions League European competition, so we are not really happy. Where the president explained it, he said, we had the possibility, the tough possibility, to not participate for European competition for 2 or 3 years. And that would have been a total disaster for Juventus. As soon as I arrived in the club, it was in January, they told me that I had to go through a process for Plusvalenza, where I was thinking, and we were all thinking, that would have probably have to pay a big fee, a big fine in terms of money. We go out of that with -15 points. Do you remember? It was on the 20th of January 2022. He said, we didn't know. So what did we do? We hired the best possible lawyers. We tried to defend ourselves in all the possible areas, but unfortunately, we understood quickly that it was not possible. And when it's not possible, it's not possible. And at a certain moment, you have to look at the bigger picture. What was the bigger picture? That even this year would have played with -point, or with the uncertainties of that the points that we were doing on the field would have been the correct ones. With the uncertainties to play the next competition in Champions League, something that we couldn't allow ourselves also financially, because every time that you are not participating to cups, it's 100 million euro of damages that you have on top of image, brand, etc., etc. At a certain moment, continuing to fine would have been totally unnecessary and also really dangerous, because if you continue to do that, you can lose even more. And that's why at a certain moment we have to accept what are the results today, that Juventus is again a team. Juventus is at the moment second. Juventus is playing on Sunday a big game that could potentially bring us first in Serie A, and we are continuing to write the extraordinary story of Juve. Was he right? Was he wrong? I don't know. I think that at a certain moment a lot of politics enter in this kind of discussion that I am not aware. I don't understand, honestly. So I think that he did the best for Juve. On the other side, and I agree with the Tifosi when they are saying we would love to see Juventus being defended a bit more from all the attacks from the papers, from other journalists that are anti-Juve, etc., etc. On this one, they find me totally agreeing with them. Ragazzi, again, this was it for the video, a shorter video because it was really difficult to speak about. If you appreciate the video, the effort, trying to dribble the noise, maximum of like, subscribe to the channel, grazie, forza, Juve.